Hello everyone, it is me Rizzy Rez, and there are a lot of aliens in Ben's arsenal by the end of Omniverse, so it can get kind of difficult at times to show them all equally in episodes. There are some aliens that are used a lot and are very popular as a result, such as Forearms, Humongousaur, Swampfire, and Heat Blast. But then there are some aliens that don't get used a lot and kind of get left in the dust. Some of these aliens that we don't see are actually very cool and I would like to see more of, and these are what fans would call as underrated, which basically means underappreciated or overlooked. And that is exactly what we'll be counting down in this video, my top 5 most underrated aliens in Ben 10. Now just remember that this is my opinion, it's my list, it's just my underrated. Some of these aliens might be your favorites and some of them you may hate, but at the end of the day, it's just my list. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you want, I'm not here to force you. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into my top 5 most underrated aliens. Kicking off our list at number 5 is the Lord of Liquid himself. Oh no, that sounds. Number 5 on the list is the Fluid Fighter himself, Goop. I've been saying this for a while, but Goop is a fantastic alien.
Goop is a fantastic alien.
He's one of the most unique aliens out there, having a liquid body that's basically impervious to pain since all your punches will just go right through him. But then he also has the anti-gravity projector to keep him all in place. It's just really cool. My own headcanon is that the anti-gravity projector is custom to Ben because the non-Viscosian can't handle the absolute power that the polymorph's body is made up of, so he has to have the anti-gravity projector to keep them all in check. Now, Goop only had 11 appearances in Alien Force and a bit over 20 by the end of Omniverse. For reference, Swampfire had 22 appearances in Alien Force alone. And now, I'm not trying to say this is unjustified because Swampfire is awesome, but I'm just trying to bring justice to Goop because Goop is really cool and I think Goop should be used more. Goop is probably the most disliked alien of the Alien Force 10, and I think that's an injustice to his name because Goop is really cool and I'll not be taking any Goop slander. Goop is much stronger than people give him credit for. He was able to defeat the Techodon, hold back Magister Prior Galil, and he held together the entire planet of Piscus. He's got some pretty good feats. I like to think that there are different races of polymorphs and they come in all different colors, like Kolar, the blue Tetramand. And imagine if these different colored polymorphs had different abilities. Like let's say the green one has the acid ability and that's the one that Ben uses, but then like the red one could have a burning ability or the purple one could have like a sleeping ability. That'd be so sick. Man, the more I think about this, the more I love Goop. That's why he's number 5 on my list. Spinning in at number 4 is the alien that I'm convinced no one hates, and that is Terraspin. He's so underrated to the point that he's kind of known for being underrated. But the Terraspin haters basically do not exist. Even their own species have basically no conflict between each other. They're also peaceful, I love them. Galapagos, the DNA donor for Ben's transformation, said that on their planet of Aldabra, they don't believe in violence and that there's no fighting at all. They just sit around and eat grass all day. That's sick. And in fact, the reason that Galapagos, probably the only one of Terraspin species that knows how to fight, he got it because he was in jail with the other Andromeda 5.
So how did you know how to fight so good just now?
I learned it in prison.
Plus his powers are cool as well. It's not your typical style of physical fighting, but it's also not your typical style of elemental powers. Turtle Spin, Turtle Blow. Plus he's also immune to mana, which is pretty OP considering that basically nullifies all of Gwen's and Charmcaster's powers. He only appears 8 times in UA and 11 in Omniverse, giving him 19 times in total, which is strangely the most out of the Andromeda 5. But that's still not enough. I still wanted more of my favorite turtle. I don't really have much else to say about Terraspin. I just love him, and that's why he's number 4 on my list. This next alien is one of the most attractive ones out there, and that is Lodestar. Now, Lodestar earns his spot on this list because he's more underutilized than underrated. Don't get me wrong, he's a really cool alien and all, but he is severely underused by Ben. Because when you think about it, Lodestar is so much stronger than you give him credit for. Because he has magnetic abilities, and like that seems like pretty okay, whatever on the surface. But then if you think about it, think about how much metal is in the world and how much he could control. It's not like your basic little push and pull and whatever. He can literally like just pull in whatever he wants and control anything. If Ben used Lodestar more, he'd become so much more OP as him. Anyways, Lodestar is great, and I find it very interesting and cool that Lodestar was the first alien that was transformed into by Ben in Omniverse. You would have thought that it would have been a more like marketable alien such as Humongousaur or one of his new ones like Shock Squatch or Gravitack, but no, they picked Lodestar. That's not even a diss at Lodestar, that's just cool. I don't know, I just love that they use this magnetic personality as the first alien shown in Omniverse. Plus his design is really unique. I don't know what it is, but I like it. Lodestar was severely underutilized, and if he was used more, fans would be a lot more attached to him. But he's managed to pull in a number 3 spot on my underrated list. The next alien is one I've talked about in the past of how underrated and how underutilized and how cool this alien is, and that is Gutrot. Gutrot is so cool and criminally underused for how powerful he is. Chemokinesis is very underrated. I put him in my perfect playlist because he's just so versatile. He can create a gas for anything. Think of the possibilities that you could make with that. What makes me sad is that he only gets 3 appearances, not including the finale cameo. That's definitely not enough. I need more of Gutrot, because I love Gutrot. He's so cool. In fact, he doesn't even have a species name. That's how much the writers just didn't really care about him. His design is pretty cool, although I would change it up a bit just because, I don't know, it doesn't really suit my type of design, but it really makes sense for what he is. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about Gutrot right now. Everything that I've said about him is I said it in the perfect playlist video. Yeah, that's why Gutrot is number 2 as my second most underrated alien. And for my number 1 most underrated alien in 2023 is Amphibian. I think Amphibian is one of the coolest looking aliens out there. He's a floating jellyfish who can zap you up. That's awesome. And I know I kind of dogged on electric aliens in this video, but come on, Amphibian is cool, alright? I don't hate them, I just think that they're a bit too abundant. But if we had to cut some, Amphibian can stay. Firstly, the episode that he was introduced in during the Aggregor arc titled Fused is one of the most underrated episodes in UA. It's really good in my opinion, and if you haven't seen it, then you're missing out. He gets an okay amount of appearances, about a similar amount to Terraspin, but I still think he needs more. I feel like he gets overlooked in the fandom. Like, if you were to tell someone to think of an electric alien right now, they'd probably think of Feedback or Shock Squatch, but no one ever really says Amphibian. Because, well, why not? Amphibian is a really cool alien, and the writers clearly didn't use him enough in the show. I also really like the character of Rat, the DNA donor for Amphibian in the episode Fused. He's a really cool character and he should have been brought back and used more. I will also say that I heavily prefer his UA design over his OV design. It's just so much cleaner in my opinion, and I think it just looks a lot better. He's also a lot stronger than you think. He gets the basic electric ability pack bundle that every electric alien gets, you know, absorption, redirection, manipulation, all that cool jazz. But he also gets underwater breathing, space survivability. He can turn into electricity and like go through cables and stuff like that. And he can read minds. That's sick. He can read minds. He can swim around in the depths of the bottom of the ocean and tell you what a whale is thinking of. Anyways, all those reasons combined makes Amphibian my number 1 most underrated alien. And that's it. That's my list. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe so we can get to 1,000. Yeah, don't really have much else to say in this outro. So, yep, stay tuned for more videos. Sorry I didn't upload last week. I was a bit sick, but I'm back now, I guess. Sort of, kind of. Yeah, that's all I got to say for now. So, until next time, I'll see you later. Peace.